always rambling with me and speaking about life experiences and our expectations and lessons learned. No regrets. That's one thing I said in my life. I will not live with regrets. If I've done it, I've done it. If I've not, maybe I will or try it later. But yeah, living life to the fullest without, okay, obviously being mindful about the consequences and what happens after and being responsible. Important thing. So the last week we talked about cheaters, and I thought it needed a part two. I've talked with friends about it's a really interesting topic to talk about. Um, Usually I've talked to guys, I've also talked to ladies, and guys, guys sometimes can really others will be like, yeah, yeah, it's not supposed to be that, but there's always a but. And I tell them they shouldn't be a but. If you've chosen to cheat, don't use excuses. Usually here at your my lady or the woman I'm with at the time is nagging me consistently and I'm not finding peace in the house, then why are you there? Good question. And if that's the house or home that you've built together, not necessarily building like construction, but wherever your bodies is not peaceful with both of you in it, then that's not a home anymore. Um, it's hard to walk out. I know that most people rarely walk out. I forgot to turn on my light. Hmm. And because mostly people usually think walking out is a sign of weakness, that you didn't try hard enough. What if you tried and tried and tried and tried again and things are not working, meaning that you're forcing the things to work and they're not even with that force, it's not working still. Today we're starting early. I got home early. Had a bad toothache. And reaching home, the weather has been funny here in Kenya. It's now drizzling and raining and cold again, which is very rare. During August, also it was cold throughout. Even when the sun shone, uh, it was still cold. You could not feel the effect. You'll see the sun, but the effect of warmth was not reaching our skins. So this year has just the weather has changed. I don't know if it's because the axis angle has become larger than the normal one. Anyway, such is the world. So back to the topic, cheating. So on doing my talks with friends about it and following up after the discussion last week, um, most people, they'll use it as an excuse. They'll say, oh yeah, peace is not at home. I'm not feeling at home when I'm at home. So yeah, I need to look for somewhere else. The comfort, as they put it, the comfort. And I say that to me, that's an excuse. If it's not working at home and you're trying and trying again, then it's high time you just say, well, it's not meant to be. And I know other people think about maybe if the kids are involved, it's difficult for either parent because, like I said, both men and women cheat. So it's not like directed at one gender or genderless, whichever. Um, so if kids are involved, that's the difficult thing. I know that the emotional attachment to maybe both parents or single parents, and even um, the thought of being a single parent and raising your kids on your own. It's a scary notion, and also thought, and also physically, it's just scary. But one thing I know, and something I learned from my mom, it's better you go at it alone than be in somewhere that can take you to an early grave because of depression or just Maybe if it's violent, it's just even more worse about that. um, like I said, in my family growing up, my dad was actually violent towards my mom, and also when my mom ran away, the the anger the anger was directed at me. So yeah, it's rather more safe and more peaceful if you just decide, like adults, amicably. um we can co-parent, which is a hard thing to talk about here in actually African homes, and just like give a peaceful environment for your kids, not necessarily for you individually, but also your kids. Here's a notion that we tend to ignore, that kids don't understand anything, and that's a lie. It has been told all our lives that kids cannot understand. They can read attitudes. They can also read if there's toxicity, and they can also read if you two hate each other or loathe, depending on the level of hatred you've reached. So the kids will preferably be in a single parent's home than and have both relationship. Don't use your children as a pawn, that oh, you're keeping your kids from your significant other because this is something to dangle over their head. um don't use them. Like my mom, when she decided to separate from my dad, she sat us down then with my brother. My sister wasn't born yet. She was actually a zygote. She was still growing in her tummy. And she sat us down and told us, I have decided that I need my peace, and I've decided to leave your dad. Um, it's been a long time coming, and I think I'd rather go at it on my own. And I give you a choice. Before she separated, we separated from my dad. She told us she's given us a choice. It's either we choose to either stay with our dad or we go with her, which was like the stories I've heard about people separating and getting divorced right now. Children are never given that choice. And my mom, that time I was just finished from one, about 15. I was actually 15 years and some months old. And when she told me that, and she told us to pick where we want to stay. And wherever we want to stay, she said, if you decide to come with me, you can still have a relationship with your dad, communicate with him. He is still your dad. There's one thing I cannot remove from you is the blood, your dad's blood running through you, and he is your father. So if you decide to have a relationship, that's your choice. I'll still be here for you. I'll not I'll not block it. And which was for me, for that time, it was like, wow, okay. And then she told us, I've decided to start my a new life, which was not far from where we used to live. And yes, we can meet my dad anytime we wanted to. So she told us, and simple. And back that time, she hadn't studied counseling. Now she's actually officiated counselor. She has done counseling after some years. She actually graduated last year, but one, yeah. Oh no, hey, it's been a while. She's actually, yeah, 3 years ago. Mind time, but still memories there. So after sitting us down, and she told us, don't decide now. In the evening, when I come back from work, you can tell me your decision, and we can decide if you're packing, you're packing. If you're remaining here, you'll wait for your father to come home from work. That was it. And we talked to my brother. My brother was like, mm-mm, I am not staying here. I'm going with mom. And and I was like, yeah, I'm also going with mom. Uh, and it was it was a relief when we left. My dad came in the evening. He didn't know we did it underwater. We did it incognito. Um, which he uses today as a chip over my shoulder, saying that I didn't tell him what was going on. Hmm. Here's my thing. I couldn't tell him what was happening because he usually came home super drunk. And if you decided to talk about something, it will be World War III. Like he will like dismiss you and not hear whatever you said. So I decided not to tell him. And yeah, we moved out. Which now back to the I digress a bit. Back to the topic. Yes, if parents can, even if it's both their decision, like this is not working, let's sit the kids down and tell them. You can tell them as layman's words as possible. You can just say, mommy and daddy are not happy, uh, but we want to give you happiness. But daddy is not going to go far, maybe. And you can say daddy anytime you want, something like that. Or you can see mommy whenever you want. And we want you, some weekends you stay with mommy, some weekends you stay with daddy. That would be nice if it's like young kids. But if it's people who are in high school and they can understand the concept of separation, divorce, and issues about relationship, just give them straight and don't lie to them. And at least, I know it's difficult to give such young people who are not yet adults choices, but that will help them in the long run to know they had a choice. And if don't block them from coming back and forth, if they choose like a whole month I'll stay in this house, then the next month I stay in a different house. That should be, it should be open to that extent. And unless it's now disrupting to their daily routines about schooling and all that. um so yeah, so that's cheating on the level of kids involved. And yeah, it's difficult. I haven't married yet, don't have kids yet, but I'm speaking as a child who grew up in such a situation. Maybe in different situations you can speak on it, on your perspective, or maybe from marriage perception, perspective and all that. That was a wordful. Anyway, so yeah, mm, we've tackled about kids. If the kids are involved, let me insist again, don't use cheating as an excuse to find your happiness. Because if you're looking for happiness in other people, you'll never find it. If you cannot find happiness within yourself and peace of mind within yourself, and you're looking it like to find it in other people's existence, oh, that's going to be, yeah, it's going to be a hard task. uh Other than that, oh, there's also another point a friend of mine put across, and it brought a lot of debate about it. It was about, oh yeah, women don't cheat the most than men. And I had to correct him. I said, women don't cheat most. It's just that before you find out a woman is cheating, eh, you need either to be a man who's very observant or keen and know your woman really well. That's how you can, if they start changing their routine, you can notice it in the moment. The reason why women find men cheating faster than they are found out, it's because women are inquisitive creatures and we are FBI's. We are detectives in our own rights. We don't just take the word for your word for it. Like you tell us, yeah, I was with the boys, and then we are just like, uh-huh, the boys, okay. While you're sleeping, you might even open your phone during when you're sleeping, or when you're just scrolling down and you're just busy. And that's the other thing. Most men, after they start cheating, there's a little bit of arrogance with them. They think that, yeah, they're macho and they cannot be found out, or no one can tell them anything until they're found out. So they sometimes even they are not cautious. And I'm not speaking that I told you I'm not a cheater. I haven't cheated, and I don't think I will cheat. I've seen the effects. Uh, so men will be, oh, he got a number, forgets he doesn't do his own laundry, leaves the number in the pocket, or a lady hugs him and makeup is on his shirt. Who does the laundry or sorting out the laundry, even if it's the house manager, housemaid, house help? Uh, then you know, little things. I know your cologne, how it smells, and the scent of it, and then you come home smelling all flowery. We'll be like, that's something different. And we'll ask you like point blank, like initially we'll be like, huh, that's a interesting scent. In the morning we were not smelling like that. Oh yeah, 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 I was sitting close to my colleague, and maybe her, you can say that, or in the matatu or the bus time, bus if you're in Kenya. And then ladies will question you even for the tiniest details. And most men will, if you're not keen, uh you'll just answer outright without thinking it, just just to get over the questions. Yet she's just gathering her information bit by bit. That's why I'm saying, like, men don't, we say men control emotionally, like, yeah, 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 I'm the man in the whatever. But women, women have like, most even I've seen men saying the one who wears the pants in the house is the woman, because she knows where everything is. She knows how the house runs, from the paying the bills and knowing whatever is missing in the house. But a man will be like, hey, 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 I'm home, tired. Not unless it's somebody, that's why I've said, not unless it's a man who's very keen and observant, they don't notice these things. And that's what actually I told my friend. I was like, no, no, women, we don't cheat. Women don't cheat, not we. I'm not, I'm excluding myself in that category. Women don't cheat more. It's that they know how to play the game. And if you don't know the game, if you hate the game, you shouldn't. You should hate the player. Don't hate the game, hate the player. So if a woman knows how to play her cards right, how will you ever know? Um, yeah. So right now we hear about women going to functions, or let's say a group gathering of her lady friends, and they do crazy stuff. If you don't know your woman, and if you don't treat her right, what stops her from, and that's an excuse. So if somebody, like I said, if somebody decides to cheat, that's their own decision, because nothing or no one can make you cheat, unless you decide yourself, like, okay, I need a taste of that. And using it like, oh yeah, yeah, it's because of this, or because, oh, you're not giving me at home. That's an excuse. Why can't you sit down as an adult and say, okay, there's something bothering about this relationship, or maybe you can't even, I remember in the past you'll hear couples set dates for getting intimate. Nowadays, does that happen? I have no idea. I'm not in a relationship, so I don't know. And if the one I was in, it was like it was on site. So yeah, intimacy doesn't mean just sexual. It also means, have you, like, have you talked, like, connected in a deeper. Now if you tell people connected in a deeper, in any way, most of them think of, oh yeah, I made her have a big O, or I made her sprinkle. But no, 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 no. It's all about, are you getting to know each other? It's like courting again, dating in your relationship, still dating, like wooing each other, because we usually forget the person I am today is not the person that will wake up in the next day. We change hourly, we change with every minute, depending with whatever is the changes that are happening around us or situations that we are in. We change every second. I applaud the couples that renew their marriages after, let's say, a milestone, 10 years, 15, 20, 25, because the person they married when they started the journey is not the person they are with right now, because maybe they had children, they had to learn how to be parents, they had to maybe withstand temptations, and others maybe withstood uh cheating and all that. They withstood parents either getting sick or parents interfering with their marriages, or even death in the family. People change from where you start, the person you are when you start dating a person, and when maybe later on is not the same. You'll not have the same reasoning. Either you gain wisdom or knowledge, or just, if you're just one note and you're still the same person, then means you don't grow. You just stuck in a world that doesn't move in your own mind. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, cheating is very broad. It's sensitive to people who are already cheating. Oh, another thing to note about cheating and cheaters especially, they'll project to the person who's innocent, and like accuse the other person that they're cheating on them, so that they can have a reason for themselves to do whatever they're doing. Most cases, if you hear that, they'll say, yeah, 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 she's been cheating. Or somebody, you have somebody, an envious and evil and jealous person in your ear, telling you all time and time and time again that, oh yeah, 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 your wife is cheating or your husband is cheating. So after you're hearing that, and then you have like looking for an opportunity, so you're an opportunist first of all, so using that as an opportunity to cheat on your wife or boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever, meaning that it was still in your mind that one time I'll cheat. Uh, then other people, like that time they cheat, they'll say, they come to you, okay, I'm guilty, but I can give you also a free pass for one person, so we can even it out. You don't want to lose this person, but yet you're treating him like trash, and you still want to. And I know, obviously, that time when they ask for that free pass, like you'll be screaming about it. Nah. Excuses, just done with it. Just own up to your shit. That's all I can say. And I think today I was early. Hi Jamal, welcome. Yeah. So if in case of any more on that topic or expounding on that topic, make sure you comment below, subscribe, like, yeah, and all of it. Follow for more. Good night.